When someone passes, where do they go? Gone forever, or can they show? What if you could find someone between to bridge the gap of those?
I'm Michelle Livingston, and I've been a spiritual medium for the last 30 years, appearing on Fox News, New York.
Hello, everybody. I'm Greg Jarrett. Welcome back to Breaking News. It's going to be a really interesting guest for the hour. Michelle Livingston is a visionary counselor.
On stage with medium James Von Prague.
Did anybody smoke, Richard?
Yes.
I smell tremendous smoke even up here. Was that your father that smoked?
My father and my mom.
On ABC
There's
News.
Air, oxygen everywhere. You can't see it, but it's here. Same thing with the spirit realms. So even though it's in a beautiful invisible realm, I have the capacity to tap into it and actually see them. He says, thanks for the balloons. I have no idea what that means. Do you have your mother's ashes with you?
My brother and I had necklaces made with her ashes in them, and I just took it off the chain tonight and put it in my pocket because I was curious if it would come up, and it did.
From the east in Harrisburg, PA, to the west in Hollywood, CA, I'm the People's Medium.
Hello, Michelle.
Hi, Tony. How have you been?
I've been amazing. Thank you so much.
It's good to be back on here.
It's amazing to see you because you're always looking amazing on this screen.
Oh, thank you. Well, I want to thank all the people that came out to the last seminar. We had almost 200 people, and it was wonderful.
Wow.
So thank you very much. And a lot of them came up and said that they watch UBN podcasts.
Oh, really?
So it's perfect. And I look like I'm chilled out there on the one side. Am I moving, Tony?
You're moving. You're moving.
Okay.
I got you.
Okay. So anyhow, I want to thank everyone. And I also put the word out. I ask viewers and listeners what subject they would like to hear about. We've done numbers. We've done past lives. We've done conscious manifestation. So all of the people really enjoy the subjects, but what has come up the last couple months is spirit guides. People wanted to know about spirit guides. They wanted to know what's the difference, for example, between a spirit guide and an angel. So spirit guides are human souls. And they can be relatives that have passed on, or they can be relatives that we've never met, like great-grandparents, let's say. They come at birth. We have one master or lifetime spirit guide, along with a guardian angel. So just let me explain the difference briefly between an angel for the newbies, for the virgins that are just now awakening to all this. An angel is a light being that was created to go with us on our journey through the angels have never been in a human body. They are from a very, very high frequency. So they are light bodies, and we call them the light beings. They usually have names that vibrate with EL sounding syllables. EL is Hebrew. It means like unto God or coming from God. So if you think of the archangels, Michael, Gabriel, Raphael, Uriel, they all have ELs somewhere in their name. And I lucked out with Michelle. So if you want to raise your name to a higher angelic vibration, put an EL somewhere in it. Anyhow, angels do not enter a human body. What enters a human body is the soul. And the soul is eternal. The soul is indestructible. The soul is basically electromagnetic energy. So I have to tell you that at birth, again, we do have a guardian angel, and we also have a spirit guide, which is the master guide for our life. We're all down here on the earth plane to learn soul lessons. We pre-agree to soul lessons before we incarnate each lifetime. So we have this master guide and project guides also. Some of you watching or listening have up to believe it or not, 20 to 30 guides. If you're ill, not only healing angels can come in, but healing spirit guides as well. And project guides can run the gamut from building a home. They come in for a while until that is completed, and then they leave. If you are writing a musical composition, you may have a spirit guide of music. They choose to come down and they choose to help us, because sometimes we're like homework assignments, believe it or not. Painting a picture, you have a spirit guide for that duration, and then they're gone. So you could have right now, as I'm speaking, anywhere between 10 to 30 some spirit guides.
Wow. That's a lot.
Everyone, my spirit guide, for example, is named Daniel. And I'll tell you how I got to know that. When I was a child, I used to have a slight body out of body experience. I call it OBE, whatever, but most people call it meditation. But I'd be walking down this beautiful path and there would be a gazebo, and I'd enter the gazebo, and in the gazebo would be a gentleman, and he had a long white robe, and he told me his name was Daniel. So I would ask him things and he would tell them to me. He would answer me, and I would have a notebook and I would write down what he was saying. And it was amazing how it opened me up to my own spirituality at a very young age. That's where that came from. So he is my master guide or lifetime spirit guide. Project guides, as I said, didn't go, but I'm sure I have a few around me right now because I'm writing a book on pets and animals. And thank you again for all of you that submitted stories. It's almost completed. I needed some more horse stories. But it's called All Creatures Great and Small. And it's inspirational stories of pets that are healers and teachers and friends and companions of ours. So it's going to be a beautiful feel-good book. So getting back to names of spirit guides, Esther Hicks channeled an entity or a spirit guide named Abraham. We know that. And then we also have Jane Roberts from years ago. Do you remember her, Tony, that channeled Seth?
I do.
The
remember
Seth.
that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. That was amazing. And of course, Edgar Casey had his guides, the Sleeping Prophet. So what you can do is you can really get in a zone where you can call your spirit guide to you. First of all, believe it or not, in the heavenly realms, they do not have specific names. We like to label everything because we're used to naming everything. We name our pets. Now we name our children. So spirit guides, really, we can call them what we want to, although they do vibrate with different vowel sounds, which I find is really interesting. So what you can do is you can get into a sacred zone. I call it meditation, but you can close your eyes and you can take a few deep breaths. You can even visualize a large white glowing screen and see a name or see some words written or even some initials. The first name that you see or the first initials, write them down, because that is a code for your spirit guide's name. It could be your main spirit guide, your master guide, or it could be a project guide of things that you're working on. But try not to overthink it. If you get the name of John, which is a very common name for your spirit guide, go with it. And you'll start to see synchronicities happen. You'll be driving along and there'll be a billboard with the name of John, or you might get a greeting card from somebody named John. And so what happens is when you get the name of your spirit guide, hold on to that and ask and you will receive. And I always say that. So you visualize white light around yourself for protection. If you would like to do automatic writing, which I believe in, that would be a great way to start. So what you do is you ask for the Creator to bring the white light down around you, and you also ask for the name of your spirit guide, and you start to write. And I believe in protective prayer. Whatever I do with spirit realms, I always say a prayer of protection. and then I start to write. So I do spontaneous or automatic writing. And actually, the last book, which is up there, Living in the Afterlife, was done through automatic or spontaneous writing. So you can find out your guides' names. And the spirit guides can also be from past lives. I mentioned at the beginning that they can be relatives. And when we get over there, we train to love and guide one or two relatives on earth. But past lives enter into it. So usually if you are drawn to an era of time, whether it's Egyptian dynasty or whether it's China, usually you have spirit guides or you've had past lives with these souls or these people, and they are not incarnated with you now. They're still in the heavenly realms and they choose to be helpers. Our soul groups can be up to 5,000 to 10,000 souls in heaven. And they're not all with us here right now in this incarnation. Many of them are still there. Of course, they come down to help us for a while and then they leave. When I was doing a lot of artwork, I started to do Oriental rice paper paintings, and it just came out of the blue. So it was actually in the Asian style. And I got a name of a spirit guide that was helping me from ancient China, which was really interesting. So I did this whole series of beautiful watercolor paintings in the Asian or Chinese style. And so I've stopped that now. That guide has now left. And there are new guides probably coming in.
Oh, so Michelle, do you mind me
go
asking
ahead, Tony.
No, so guides actually can leave and be finished with their work?
Mm-hmm. Actually, we're their homework assignments many times.
Oh, okay.
So they come and go around us. The master or lifetime guide stays with us the whole duration. But if someone in heaven is training, let's say, to do art when they incarnate or to do painting when they incarnate, they'll come down as a spirit guide and work with an artist in tandem. They'll help the artist and they'll observe the artist. And they can pull that information then back to the fourth dimension. So with their next incarnation, they know exactly what to do. People that are great singers, for example, from the time they're 3 years old, they're in perfect pitch and they do perfect runs and everything like that. They have been probably spirit guides of other singers who lived before them on earth. And they came down and honed that. They helped the human person on earth, and then they took that back with them, and vice versa. So it's very, very, very interesting. We're never alone. So those of you out there that feel you're alone, guess what? You're surrounded with a lot of spirit guides and a lot of angels as well. I might do a show on angels coming up, but everybody wants to know the name of their guide, how to find out information about their guide. Do you know your spirit guide's name, Tony?
I don't, but years ago, there was a woman in Wichita, Kansas. It was one of the first times I ever had a reading. This was probably 91, 92, so a long time ago. And she told me Michael. So, I don't know if that's true or not, but she said, it was Michael's. But I don't know if that was the great Michael or
the divine protector.
Yeah. So,
Archangel Michael.
Yeah, so I don't know if that's who it was. But so no, I don't know other than that.
Sometimes I can get spirit guides' names for people. It just kind of pops in my mind. And it's easy for you out there, viewing or listening, to just kind of close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And it doesn't have to be a long, dramatic name like Abraham, who was channeled, or Elijah. It can just be Bob. And you might question it. There was a person that asked and wanted to receive, and they kept seeing ballet movies on television and ballet billboards, and their friend was just in New York City and went to the ballet. And somebody said, did you ever realize that your spirit guide's name could be ballet? And so that's what they actually called their spirit guide. Now, you can call them what you want to call them. You can call them rainbow. You can call them sunshine. Spirit guides really aren't labeled, and they really, believe it or not, don't care what their names are. But to make a connection between you and them, that is what we do. We name them, and we label them. And so now, who's Richard to you?
For me,
Is that,
I had
yeah. Is that a name? Is that someone you know, Tony?
Well, actually, I had a great uncle, Richard, that I never knew, and my mother says that I look like.
He's a spirit guide of yours.
Wow. She said that I look like him, and I act like him a lot. So,
okay. So what he's doing now, since he is an uncle or great uncle?
He was my great grandmother's brother. So that may be what, great uncle, maybe great uncle.
Yeah. It would be great uncle. Yeah. So he has trained to be a helper of yours.
Oh, great.
And he's around you. So a name like Richard would be probably a relative's name or something. Or we could go back to ancient times even. If I get an unusual name, it could be from a past life for you. I can get them, but you can get them yourself. So if you close your eyes and just take a few deep breaths, Tony, what name pops in your mind?
Ariel.
Can you think of any names?
Ariel popped into my head.
All right, there you go. So Ariel's typically a female spirit guide or female name. It's also an angelic name. It could be Arielle or Ariel. So Ariel could actually, angels are androgynous or they're sexless.
Right.
But that could also be your spirit guide's name.
Nice.
Isn't that interesting that popped in your head?
Yeah, because I don't know anybody Ariel.
Well, that's your guide's name then. So I hope you understand the difference here. Angels, again, are androgynous and sexless. We have a guardian angel, and we also have angels that come and go. So we're ever surrounded by our heavenly host, whether in human soul form or whether in angelic form. And the white screen technique is really interesting, just to clear your mind and see a word or a name written. And then the other thing to do again is to take your notebook and to say a prayer of protection and write down the first name that comes in your mind, or a few letters or a few words. And that's how you know who your guide is. People that meditate many times, I'm being shown right now in a beautiful spring setting. You could visualize a road and walk down the garden path or the tree line path, and there could be a bench there where you could sit down and greet your spirit guide if you're more of a visionary person. Or I meet my brother Daniel, as I said, in a gazebo. He calls me Child of Light. That's his name for me.
Nice.
And one time I had a whole slew of guides. I was in a mood to do some spontaneous or automatic writing, and actually had one from Greece. One came through from the Egyptian culture and China and a Native American Indian. So we're going to take a quick break. And if you're on my fan page, if you want to write to me, Tony will access the fan page. Just he'll pick your first name. I'll try to get the name of your spirit guide. If you have any questions about it or anything to share, let us know. And so we'll come back right after this little break.
Attract what you want in life. Learn more about your evolutionary soul journey. Gain in-depth knowledge about metaphysical concepts.
Start with Messages from Beyond. It's a spiritual guidebook that talks about the soul journey. Everything you've ever wanted to know is in this book. It's Spirituality 101.
Messages from Beyond, a spiritual guidebook. Available at michellelivingston.com and wherever books are sold.
All right. Welcome back, Michelle.
Welcome back, everyone.
I'm learning a lot. I'll have to say it's and there's a lot of people asking that same question. I bet you about 80% of the people are saying, "Who's my spirit guide?"
Well, if I would get a name of your guide, it would have to be what you're dealing with now. It could be the lifetime guide, or it could be a spirit guide of healing, or to help you with your soul lesson this lifetime. They do come and go, or a project guide. So what are some of the questions, Tony, on Facebook or in the chat room?
It's like I said, but majority are said would love to know the name of my spirit guide, and this is from Tanya Marie. If chosen, thank you very much. Then see, Michelle, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, Michaela or something like that. I would love to know my spirit guide's name. Jackie says, what can you tell me about my spirit guide? So it's a lot of people asking very much the same question. Mary also says, can you tell me my spirit guide? So the list goes on and on and on and on. So I guess.
Okay, we're going to start. Well, I'll go back to Tanya Marie. Let's start there. Hello, Tanya. Thanks for watching, darling. Thanks for listening. As soon as Tony said your name, I got Muriel, which is very unusual. It's Murielle. Muriel is a spirit guide that, of course, is female, and she is bathed in pink light. Pink's the color of love, and it's the color of faith. So I have to say, Tanya, that you've gone through a lot, and that Muriel has been with you. This could be your lifetime spirit guide, or I'm almost feeling a healing guide, a guide of healing. Pink's a very gentle color. If you would want to wear more pink or get yourself rose quartz, a rose quartz stone would be wonderful for you. So Muriel is your guide, my dear. So write that down, Murielle. And I'm asking her what she is doing with you. She's a spirit guide of faith. That's what it is. She tells me that she's helping you with the virtue of faith, and that it's learned. You've learned it to a point, and that's a hard one to learn. But when you have it mastered, she'll be on her way. So there you go. That's for Tanya Marie. This is getting interesting.
I know. Well, actually, this question, it goes a little bigger. It's from Jamie. It says, "What about my God?"
What about her what?
It says, "What about my God?" So I'm assuming is like, who's my God? So I guess that's maybe your own choice that you have to choose on that one.
Yeah, God is a creator, a higher power, whatever you believe God to be. So it could be Father, Mother, God, Creator, if that's what you believe. Yeah. So that's an interesting question.
Yeah, that's a big that's a big one right there. Well, actually, this is a good one. Tracy said, "Hi, Michelle. My dad died last Tuesday, and I saw a light behind my mom after he passed. Was that the spirit guide, or was that my father?"
That was your dad, sweetheart. He just passed last Tuesday.
Tuesday.
I'm so sorry, Tracy. God bless you. Thanks for listening and watching. Yeah, the light that you saw was your dad's spirit, part of your dad's spirit. And I have to say, he's around you. There was a shock factor to the way he passed away. He's still with you, believe it or not. He has kind of one foot here and one foot in heaven, but he's with your mother a lot. And I don't get him totally through, but I want to say he's going to train to be a spirit guide of yours. And I wish I could have you on the phone, Tracy, because I don't know if you have a sister or a daughter, but your dad is extending love to a younger female, either your sister or your daughter. So if you want to call in, there's the call number on the screen, and we could get more in depth with this, Tracy. But blessings and prayers for you, my dear. There's nothing like the loss of a parent as well.
Oh, I know.
I miss my daddy. But yeah, that was your dad, Tracy. So if you want to follow up, you can call in.
And Tracy, if you could put in the comments your area code, that way we can at least find you faster.
Yeah.
And also, this was a good one here. It says, "I am drawn to the American Indians and also the Titanic for some reason. Does this have something to do with my spirit guides?"
Yeah, right away I'm getting Native American Indian spirit guide. What's their name? What's the
Tracy, I think it was.
Gracie?
Tracy, yeah. There's a different Tracy, I think.
Okay. I have 3 white feathers is the name of your Native American Indian spirit guide. 3 white feathers. And this goes back to past life, Tracy. So you, and I'm not doing past life readings, but you had spirit guide with you, and he was your older brother, 3 white feathers. This would be Montana, Dakotas, somewhere out west like that. And he's around you, around your home, and he protects your home. And as at each window and door of your home, so no harm will ever come to you with break-ins, Tracy. And you can call upon 3 white feathers. You might even find a white feather floating down, or he will communicate with you by blue jay feathers, cardinal feathers. Where is she from? Does she say where she's from?
It doesn't say where she's from. Let me see if I can find out, though.
Do we have any calls coming in, Tony?
Oh, yeah, the call center's full, so.
Well, so that's yours. And is there another person asking about the name of their spirit guide?
Oh, there's seriously tons and tons and tons. I have one quick question. I kind of saw this, but I'm going to reword it. But when you have a child, can a spirit guide transfer over to another person or somebody in your life, like a child?
From you, yourself, as a
Yeah,
person,
so-
like a mother to a child?
Yeah, so let's say my spirit guide is Ariel, and I have a son or a daughter. Can they transfer over and become their spirit guides, or do they get their own?
That's a good question. We're in one large soul group in heaven.
Mm-hmm.
So probably they could transfer over,
Yeah.
depending on what's happening in that child's life.
Okay.
That's a very interesting question.
Well, another one here. I lost the name because the questions are coming in faster than I can actually almost read it. But it was saying that the turmoil in my life, can a spirit guide me through this and help it make it better?
And what name is that,
That's
Tony?
what I'm trying to look. I lost it because there's so many people. So I'm going to try to find that. Where was it? Let me see if it's like I lost it because there were so many people commenting, which we love to have everybody comment. So, oh, here it is. Jackie, will my guide get me out of this turmoil I'm in?
Yeah. Hi, Jackie. Thanks for writing on my fan page. There's a male spirit guide, and you get yourself in a spiral, my dear. As soon as he said the name Jackie, we all do. But it has to do with thought processes and thinking. So sometimes if there's clinical or genetic depression back in family, it filters down to us, and you have a bit of depression. So guard your thoughts, watch your thinking. You're Jackie, and I don't want you to laugh about this, but I had a spirit guide named Jack for you, believe it or not. Now, Jack could be a family member, like a grandfather, or Jack could be just your lifetime spirit guide. If you know the name of Jack, let me know. But I do have to say, you will be pulled out of this, my dear. You've had a lot of emotional downfalls in a short amount of time, Jackie. With that said, when things slam at us and there's the domino effect, it's hard to pick ourselves up by our bootstraps. But spring is here. And you also have a touch of seasonal affective disorder, Jackie. I don't know who you are, but I'm just telling you what I'm getting. And it's worse in the East when it's cold from November through March. So guess what? Spring is around the corner. Here it's been snowing, if you can believe it, in the East, even though it's spring here. It's been snowing. But Jackie, you'll be over it within 1 month to 6 weeks, darling. And ask your guide, Jack, to help you think in a positive way and to give you good opportunities to come your way. And like I said, I believe in the power of prayer as well. But tonight's subject is guide. So Jackie, there you go, honey. Your guide's name is Jack. Write me back if you know one in family, but if you don't, that's fine because that's the name I got.
Well, you know, it's spring in the air, and it means usually love is in the air. And
Yes.
Jay.
Yes.
So is there a spirit guide?
The first day of spring here, Tony, it snowed.
Oh, so the love is like stay inside. But Jay in the chat room says, is there a spirit guide to help true love float my way?
Oh, absolutely. And actually, I did a podcast on Valentine's Day on love and hi, Jay, and how to attract love. You can say an affirmation for love. You just take a sheet of paper and you just say, my heart is healed from the past. I'd like my spirit guide to come in and help me choose someone that's for my highest good and the highest good of them. I want them to be eligible and willing to commit. And you write down several qualities that you would like in someone, in a partner, in a relationship. So I want to say that, all right, you're going to find this bizarre. The name of Doris just came, I mean it. And that, Jay, if you're listening, that's either someone in family or I do have to say it's a female spirit guide of yours. So you can call upon her to get you a good female, sir, if that's what you want.
Well, I love this one, and it also popped into my head a question. But this is Renee. It says, my daughter has always seemed to be an old soul, and I'm curious about that and possibility connection to her guide. Now, my question is, being an old soul or knowing somebody that's an old soul, do they need less spirit guides than younger souls?
It just depends on what they're here to learn. If an older soul is here to master patience, which is one of the toughest virtues, then they would have, they could have one guide that's assigned for a number of years, or they could have a couple of guides of patience to come down and help them. So an older soul has had more incarnations on earth, and an older soul, as we label it, is basically a soul that has learned compassion and empathy through past lives of a lot of trials and hard times. So the question for Renee would be, would a younger soul have fewer guides? Is that what she's asking? Right. Or more guides?
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. It depends, Renee. It really depends on what your daughter is trying to learn this lifetime and what you're trying to learn, which I find interesting too. So I'm not getting a name, but I am getting a gentleman. And you said Renee has a daughter. Is that correct, Tony?
Yes.
Because this older gentleman, I think he's a family member, is watching out for your daughter, Renee. And there's also a Robert in your family, or Richard is the name of a guide. Just like I got Tony's spirit guide. It's a great, great uncle of Tony. Keep open to Robert or Richard, Renee. And again, confirm this. If you're on my Facebook page, just say, yeah, I have a relative like that or whatever. Thank you. Interesting questions tonight.
Very interesting questions. And by the way, Susie said that she does find feathers.
Oh.
So that must be...
Is this the one with the Native American?
Yes.
Indian spirit guide, I wonder. That was Tracy, I think. If you find feathers, they can be from angels or they can be from Native American Indian spirit guides. Feathers were big in the Native American times, let's face it. The Native Americans loved nature. So a lot of Native American Indian names deal with nature, with animals, or with feathers, basically, when they come through. So we're going to take another little break, and then I'll take some phone calls. If you'd like to call about a loved one who's passed, if you'd like to talk about your spirit guide or another question, feel free. So we'll be back in a minute.
If you enjoy The Michelle Livingston Show and want to see her in person, check out her next live seminar.
So here we go. If you can work with me, close your eyes. We're going to take 8 deep breaths, and we're going to start.
Have you recently lost a loved one?
Who lost a husband recently? I have to take a deep breath with him. I feel it was fairly quick.
Could you be the next one to get a reading?
I think I'm with you, sweetie. There's a name like Bree. Bree. They're showing me cheese. That's what. That's the new one. They showed me Bree cheese and her daughter's name Bree. See how this works?
This seminar will provide an experience that will truly enhance your understanding of the other dimensions.
When we get over there, we train to help 1 or 2 people that are on the earth plane, and we train to be their guides or their helpers.
And confirm that you
There's a dad figure coming through here.
are never alone.
Did you enjoy it? Oh, thank you so much.
All right, we're back with Michelle Livingston.
And I also want to add, after the little commercial there, that our next seminar actually is almost half full.
Wow, that's great.
It includes a buffet dinner, and it's in Pennsylvania. It's in Lebanon, Pennsylvania, and it's Hebron Catering. And they have wonderful food. So my co-host is Jen Shade from the People's Morning Show. And I want to thank the I don't know how, it was close to 200 people last time. We didn't have a meal. We had it at the Radisson Hotel. But this time it's a wonderful facility. So come out. I'd love to meet and greet you. So any calls, Tony?
Oh, yeah. The call center is full. I know there's a lot of people that have questions about their loved ones and also spirit guides. And I think we may have somebody from the chat room that had the question. So let's see if we take this call and see if it's the Tracy that we were trying to get a hold of earlier. So here we go. Tracy, you're on air with Michelle Livingston, the People's Medium.
Hello, Tracy. Are we on air?
We are on there. I just hopefully maybe she must have stepped away. So let's try another one.
Okay.
And we'll come back to her. All right, so we have, let's see, Janice. So Janice from 720. Janice, you there?
Miss Janice? Are we going to have to go back to Facebook, Tony?
We may have to. Oh, I know. Okay, hold on.
I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
You're in the call center. Hi, Janice.
Hi, Michelle. So wonderful to talk to you.
Well, thank you so much, my dear, for calling in. Are you watching as well or just listening?
I was watching as well.
Oh, well, God bless you. So do you have a question about a spirit guide or a relative in heaven?
Well, I always love to hear messages from my son, but today I'm wondering about a project spirit guide, if I have one or if I can get one, because I have a project that's not moving very quickly.
You can definitely get a project spirit guide. What's your project, Janice?
We are trying to sell our home and move to another state to be with my sister.
Okay. Let me give you a couple techniques over and above a spirit guide. You can also ask for your guide to come to you, but there are 2 techniques to sell a home. And I've had clients sell homes within a week or 2, Janice. What you do
Well, let me tell you something. The problem is that my husband's moving really slowly. I think the home will sell quickly, but he keeps finding new things to do. And it's prolonging this long, long way. Maybe he needs a project guide. I don't know.
Well, this is what happens. There are memories in a home and a lot of emotional things that cling to the interior of a home. So maybe he's not totally ready to let go. But what you personally can do, Janice, is seriously, before you go to sleep, visualize a pure white sheet of light under the foundation of your home and slowly bring it up in your mind's eye through the first floor, through the second floor if it's a 2-story, and above the roof. And on that white sheet, you'll see gray matter collected. That those are emotional issues from the past and memories. Wrap it up, the sheet, tie it together, and send it up and out into the universe. The other thing is, where are you calling from, Janice? Let me ask you that.
I live in Colorado. Colorado.
So the climate's pretty good right now out there, correct? The climate?
Yes, correct.
You can open the windows and let fresh air flow through your home. That will dissipate any clinging or emotional energy that's stuck there. The other thing is decluttering, because clutter creates blockages. Energy cannot move when there's a lot of clutter. So try to make it as zen as you can, Janice. In other words, clear it out. Get your husband to do that with you. The cleaner and clearer the energy is there, the quicker the home will sell. So open the windows, let fresh air in, declutter, do the white lighting technique, and hold on, the name of James. The name of James I just got. So James is a male spirit guide of yours, Janice. Well, anyhow, I don't know where we are. All I know that Janice is in Colorado, and she needs to clean out her house, declutter, white light it, and raise the energy. And I also had the name of James as a spirit guide. The name of James could also be a family member.
Let's take another one from the chat room until I make sure we get this back on. Is that okay?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, let's try to do that. Okay, so in the chat room it says, I'm so stuck. Oh, that's stuck with my job. So, come on. Do you want to take just spirit guides or anything?
Oh, it depends.
Okay.
Is my Facebook page filled up too?
Oh my gosh, yeah, everything. That gets packed too. It says, is my spirit guide MIA? I seem to be holding on to my thread literally. So she's saying that she doesn't feel that her spirit guide is there at all.
Oh. So, and I'm trying to get her name. Do you have her name?
It's actually Stefan. So it's either Stephen or Stefan.
Oh, male?
Male. Yep.
Stephen. Hi, Stefan or Stephen. I feel you're really creative and very sensitive. And sometimes that holds you back because you're somewhat empathic. And that show we did a few weeks ago was on empaths. So one day at a time, Stephen. And I have a Miguel, if you can believe this, Miguel, Miguel, who is a spirit guide of self-confidence and self-esteem. There's something that you've been wanting to do with your life that you keep putting off or procrastinating. I wish I had him on the phone, darn it, because we can really move along in this one. But he's been procrastinating, and the creativity is all around you. I also hear music, Stephen, around you. So Miguel will help you. Miguel sounds like a Spanish name. It could be a past life. You could have had a past life with Miguel, or Miguel could just be from your soul group in heaven. So call upon him and ask him to get you, quote unquote, unstuck and get on with things, because there are going to be a lot of opportunities, Stephen, come your way coming up. And also watch for the month of June. I'm doing readings and they aren't even on the air, Tony.
I know. That's why you're Michelle Livingston.
Yeah, the month of June, Stephen, if you can confirm any of this, is important.
Well, there is somebody in the Collins Center name with the same name. So you want to try and see if that's the same person?
Okay.
Because I think I have the system back going. So let's try it now. So, all right.
Hello.
Are you there?
Hello.
Yes, my name's Stephen.
Hi, Stephen. Are you the one I was just talking about?
Well, there is some things that I have on hold. I am in the entertainment industry. I'm an actor. I used to sing many years ago when I was growing up in school.
Yes, that's who. I was talking about you then, sir.
Okay.
You're very sensitive. You're very creative. I was hearing music around you, and you're somewhat empathic, Stephen. But I did get the name Miguel. Did you hear that part?
No.
There is a spirit guide who is a guide of creativity and opportunity, whose name is Miguel, which sounds Spanish to me. It's Miguel. He is around you more than you know. You can write this name down. And he's going to help you with opportunities by June of this year. Something will open up for you to move on. You tend to take a couple steps forward and then you feel like you're stepping back. Do you understand, Stephen?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. You're somewhat of a perfectionist, and there's nothing wrong with that. You have to be in your type of work. But I'm feeling a big opportunity to really expand what you're doing. And it comes in and around the month of June. All right?
Okay.
And please call upon Miguel, your guide of opportunity, would you?
Yes, I will.
I'm so glad you called in and confirmed.
Thank you so much, because I felt like I've been at this stuck place for so long, and I'm like, okay, when do I get unstuck?
Well, sometimes you put pressure on yourself, Stephen. As somewhat of a perfectionist, you want things done in a correct manner. And I understand that because I'm an artist as well. But be kind and gentle with yourself. This is what Miguel's telling me to tell you. Shake it loose a little bit. Take a trip this summer. All right. Where are you calling from? Stephen, where are you located?
Hamden, Connecticut.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. You could go up the New England coast for a trip. And that would be wonderful for you. Water is a very healing element for you, Stephen. So anytime you feel like you need a boost, get near the ocean, get near the water. All right?
Okay. Awesome.
So now you know your guide's name, sir, and watch for the month of June. And I'm so glad we got you through.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the both of you.
Take care.
Many blessings.
Have a great night. Well, here's a great call that I think it says, my name is Jeremy, and we're going to take him right now. But wants to know who his spirit guide is for healing. So let's go ahead and take that call. So Jeremy, you there?
This Joanne.
Oh well, then I don't know where Jeremy came from, but
that's probably your spirit guide, Tony.
There you go. Hey, that's a good idea.
Hello, Joanne.
Hello, Michelle.
Where are you calling from, my dear?
New Cumberland, Pennsylvania.
Oh, great. I love Pennsylvanians.
I know you do.
So, Joanne, do you have a question about your spirit guide, or what's your question?
More so about healing. I've had an injury for 10 months and hard to get answers and trying to figure out, do I have a healing spirit guide, or I don't know, anything you can tell me about the situation.
Are you okay with walking, Joanne?
No.
I didn't think so. I just feel some leg pain with you, darling. It could be some arthritis. And you have, I'm sorry, who would have had a diabetic condition, Joanne?
Nobody in my family, but it is neuropathy in my foot, but not due to diabetes.
Right. I'm feeling poor circulation with you and edema. When you're sitting down, you need to prop your feet up, Joanne, to let the blood flow back to your heart. That'll help with the swelling and the neuropathy. And I do feel a lot of heat around your feet. So let me.
Okay.
I'm going to get a name for you.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know if you have a pen or paper, but it's Hariel. Now I know it sounds unusual. It's Hariel, Ielle. I'm going to say this is more of an angel of healing because you asked for an angel. I don't think it's a spirit guide.
Okay, can you give me his name again? Har?
Yeah, it's a female. It's a female vibration, and it's Hariel, Harielle, Harielle. In the evening, Joanne, prop your legs up to get the blood to flow back to your heart. And you may want to put your feet in cool water, not hot water, but cool water, because that will constrict the blood vessels and it will help you, Joanne. But that's a healing angel for you, and I'm not kidding you. You can call upon Hariel. It's an unusual name, but I'm glad you gave me a call, my dear. Thank you for watching. I hope you're on my Facebook page.
Well, thank you, because I was in the hospital today, and that still wasn't discovered. So,
well, yes,
I really appreciate it.
And I appreciate you calling. Also, I'm going to say, as far as diabetic condition, it could have gone back in family somewhere. Seriously, like there's glucose imbalances somewhere, not necessarily with you personally, but with someone back in your family, Joanne.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. I will pray.
Thank you, sweetheart. God bless you, honey. Good night.
Thank you.
Oh.
That was great.
Yeah, I felt difficulty in walking immediately when I heard her name. So neuropathy is not pleasant.
No, my mother has neuropathy, so yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, if she calls upon this Hariel, that's an unusual name. I don't know where that came from. As soon as I heard healing.
Well, we can take one more call if you want to, or we can just say.
Sure.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's find I'm going to say Christy, but last time I was completely off. So it says has a question about her spirit guide. So let's go ahead and answer this. All right, you're live on Michelle Livingston Show.
Christy.
Hello.
Hello, Miss Christy.
I'm doing great, Michelle. How have you been?
I'm doing wonderfully well. Thanks, Christy, for asking. So would you like to talk about your spirit guides? What is your question, Christy?
I would really like to know if there are guides around me now that are trying to push me in a certain direction, or if there's like a special purpose for right now.
Are you thinking about changing work plans or starting something new, Christy?
I'm not really thinking about anything in a direction at this point. I'm not working anymore, but it's more of what to do with my time and how to benefit from the time that I have.
Do you like animals?
I'm allergic to most of them, but I do have 2 poodles.
Oh, wow. Okay, I want you to listen to this. My sister bred poodles. She's no longer on earth. She's in heaven. She bred poodles, and poodles are hyperallergenic. And there is probably a poodle rescue near you. I'm not kidding you. And you should check it out because animals give us unconditional love, Christy. And you could actually help or volunteer with rescue poodles. And I need to ask you where you're calling from, sweetie.
Pennsylvania.
All right.
Outside Harrisburg.
Yes. So I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but as soon as you said something to do in the future, animals were mentioned. If you're allergic, then I've got to go to poodles. And since I said my sister bred them, think about working or volunteering for a while with a poodle rescue place or sanctuary. That's something that would be interesting for you.
Are you getting anything at all regarding my spirit guides?
Yes. I'm getting a female spirit guide for you, and her name is Janelle. It's Janel, Janelle. Write that down. It's a female spirit guide. And she is helping you for opportunities to come in for the future, but also for you to have ideas, creative ideas. You're creative, Christy, and you need to use that creativity. You are. And you do well with your hands. You work well with your hands.
So maybe go in that direction a little bit.
Is your mother's mother passed, Christy? Your maternal grandmother?
Yes, she is.
She's through to say hello.
Oh, that's so nice.
And she's busy with her hands too. She's doing a lot of work up there in heaven with her hands.
She was a great baker, and at one time had her own restaurant.
Yeah, I was just going to say she's stirring things and wants to bring food in here, which is kind of cute. So when I said busy with hands, I got a stirring effect, that kind of thing. She's a spirit guide of yours, Christy. Your maternal grandmother. Okay.
Oh, wonderful.
I know you think of her at times, and she loves you dearly, and you worry about your health. Please don't worry about your health, Christy. You're in God's hands. You're okay, my dear. You're going to be okay.
You know that. I know that. Thank you for reaffirming.
No, you've soul contracted a longer lifeline. So there you go. But would you please do me a favor? Check into poodle rescue places. I'm not kidding. And also remember the name Janelle, Janel, Christy.
I wrote that down.
Thank you so much for watching and calling, and God bless you, darling.
Well, thank you very much, Michelle. And also, Tom, thank you very much for putting me on the phone.
Tony.
Take care.
For Tony.
Yeah, Tom's my cousin, so.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so I'm like, it's okay. And actually, we're the closest in age and grandchildren, and we kind of look like each other. So there you go.
Well, Christy had a message for you then.
Yeah, I think maybe I should call my cousin Tommy, make sure he's all right.
I think you should, because spirit guides can work through other human beings too. That's something I didn't mention. I'm serious. They can drop a line like that. And so maybe you're supposed to call Tom.
I haven't talked to him in years, so I think I should.
I think you should.
All right. Well, that was an amazing show. You did a great job. So thank you for bringing that to the table, Spirit Guide.
I really do want to thank everyone who watched and listened, and I'll get to you at some point tomorrow. I'll go through my fan page. It's the People's Medium, and I'll answer your questions about your spirit guides. And remember, you can do this yourself by meditation, visualizing a big blank white wall, and seeing a name written, or protecting yourself, or just writing down a name that comes in your mind. So I hope I helped you with guides versus angels tonight. I look forward to seeing you next time. And keep up with me on Facebook. I'm still working on my animal book, but I'll be back. Always be kind, everybody.
Bye, Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you, Tony.
Have a good week. Bye-bye.
You too, dear.
Michelle Livingston Show. And want to see her in person? Check out her next live seminar.
So
So here we go. If you can work with me, close your eyes. We're going to take 8 deep breaths, and we're going to start.
Have you recently lost a loved one?
Who lost a husband recently? I had to take a deep breath with him. I feel it was fairly quick.
Could you be the next one to get a reading?
I think I'm with you, sweetie. There's a name like Bree. Bree. They're showing me cheese. That's her daughter. That's the new one. They showed me Bree cheese and her daughter's name Bree. See how this works?
This seminar will provide an experience that will truly enhance your understanding of the other dimensions.
When we get over there, we train to help 1 or 2 people that are on the earth plane, and we train to be their guides or their helpers.
And confirm that you
There's a dad figure coming through here.
are never alone.
Did you enjoy it?